Welcome to Archo Chronicle, neutral, data-driven policy analysis. Today, a CNN analysis by Stephen Collinson. Pentagon move against war hero Kelly shows Trump's quest for vengeance is endless. Subscribe for context, clarity, and credible sources. President Donald Trump's political retribution campaign just took 2 embarrassing steps back and 1 giant leap forward. The collapse of criminal cases against former FBI Chief James Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James raised questions about the Justice Department's competence after a judge ruled Trump's handpicked prosecutor was illegally appointed amid rushed prosecutions under political pressure. But the administration didn't miss a beat after its twin defeat on Monday. The Pentagon swiftly announced a probe into and potential court-martial of war hero, NASA astronaut, and Democratic Senator Mark Kelly over a video in which he and colleagues pointed out that members of the military don't have to obey illegal orders. This followed Trump's claim last week that Kelly and other Democratic lawmakers in the video, all military or intelligence community veterans, had committed sedition, inciting an insurrection against the state, which Trump said was punishable by death. Trump has made no secret of his determination to use presidential power to prosecute his opponents in revenge for his own criminal indictments. It was a pillar of his 2024 presidential campaign. But the use of the military to target a political foe crosses a new line and invokes the possibility that the free speech of veterans could be constrained if they criticize the commander-in-chief. It also marks an extension of Trump's attempt to use government institutions to weaponize justice against his opponents, a process that the Comey and James cases show is already advanced in the DOJ. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has already dismissed senior military officers in an attempt to build a team he believes is loyal to the president and his own ethos of unfettered discretion for war fighters. He has also fired top legal officers who raised questions about the legality of administration policies, CNN reported. The extraordinary possibility that a decorated retired Navy captain such as Kelly could be called back to duty to be prosecuted under military justice threatens to take the process further. What Trump wants to say is, if I can come after him, I can come after anyone, said Paul Rieckhoff, founder and CEO of Independent Veterans of America. This is crossing the Rubicon, Rieckhoff told CNN's John Berman on Anderson Cooper 360. The idea you can drive Kelly back onto active duty and threaten a court-martial is breaking glass that has never been broken before in the modern military. Since Kelly was a senior officer who retired from the Navy, he is required by law to remain available for recall to the military. The Pentagon said it could take him back into the service to carry out a court-martial or administrative punishment. It was not immediately clear what potential charges might be viable against Kelly, since his alleged defense was to point out a fact, that military officers are only obligated to follow legal orders under the Uniform Code of Military Justice. There must be considerable doubt that a case against Kelly would get anywhere near the court-martial stage, not least because a conviction would set a precedent that any retired member of the military could be pursued by the government in perpetuity for remarks construed as criticism of the president's actions. The video by Democratic lawmakers has sparked debate over whether they were needlessly dragging the military into political disputes with a campaign-style stunt. But it did not take place in a vacuum. Trump has ordered reservists and U.S. Marines into U.S. cities in deployments that some judges have blocked, and many experts believe that the administration's strikes on the speedboats of alleged drug traffickers in the Caribbean and Pacific thwart due process and could infringe U.S. and international law and the Constitution. It was a CNN analysis by Stephen Collinson. Archo Chronicle, neutral, data-driven policy analysis. Subscribe for context, clarity, and credible sources.